Okay, now we continue to movie part 2. That we should start from last slide of part 1. This is the last slide of part 1 movie. Based on this slide, you have one practice, self review 1.1 on page 8. Okay, we can go through together, but I expect that by now most of you can answer question A and question B, and you also can compare your answers with the textbook answer. If your answers are wrong, that means you need to review it again. But if your answers are correct, okay, that means you already understood the content that I mentioned earlier. Okay, for sale review 1.1, is that Alata, based on advertising firm Brendan and Associates, asked a sample of 1,960 customers to try a newly developed chicken dinner by Boston Market. Among 1,960 customers, sample customer, 1,176 said that they would buy or they would purchase the dinner if it is on sale. Okay, if it is a market. Question A: what would Brendan and Associates report to Boston Market regarding acceptance of the chicken dinner in the population? B: is this an example of descriptive statistics or inferential statistics? Explain why. Okay, so if some of you cannot find the answers, yes, you can drop me a message to get some guideline or some idea. But if some of you already found and your answer are correct, okay, that's good. Okay, now we move to the next point. The next point of chapter 1, types of variables. I said something a little bit earlier in terms of variable. Variables, it means something always change, and we need to understand those changes. So variable comes from the word vary. Okay, this is vary, and vary similar meaning to change. That's why variable changeable. This is in our language, anyat. Variable is any characteristics, number or quantity that can be measured or counted. Okay, can be measured or counted. Why we can measure? Because it depends on type. Next, we look at types of variable. A variable may also be called a data item, such as age, gender, income, score, or the others. Why is age a variable? Because your age can change from year to year, from day to day, from month to month. But normally when we're talking about age, we tend to focus only year, not month, not week. Okay, that's why this year, for example, you are 22. Next year you will be 23. Last year you were 21. That's why you can see your age change from year to year. Okay, gender, yes, you cannot change your gender, but in terms of class, I have one student, they can be male, and the other one can be female. That's why the same class, but student to student, they have different sex or gender. Income, from month to month, you earn more or less. It depends on your work. That's why your amount of money earning always changing from time to time, from condition to condition. Okay, it is called a variable because its value may vary between data units in the population, and its value may change in values over time. Okay, its value may change in values over time. So that's why we call one variable. So variable is something that its values will change from time to time, from condition to condition among data set. For example, income is a variable because it can vary between data units in a population. For example, the people or the business being studied may not have the same incomes. Student A and student B, they have different amount of money in their pocket, or they have different amount of money earning. That's why from student A to student B, here we're talking about income, but student A income not the same thing as student B income. Income can also vary over time from data unit. Just like last year, this year, next year, student A have increasing income or decreasing income. That's okay. From time to time, incomes, amount of money earned always change. That's why income is an example of variable. There are two basic types of variable of data. One, qualitative variables or categorical variables. 2. Quantitative variables or numeric variables. Qualitative variables refer to characteristic of variable being studied is non-numeric, not number. For example, gender, male or female, male M, female F, no number. Religious affiliation, Buddhist, Christian, or maybe Muslim, so no number. Type of motorbike owned, okay, motorbike owned, for example, yes, there are different types of motorbike, Suzuki, Honda, or the others. Or types of automobile like car, different types of car owned. State of birth, yes, a birth also have differently, but not number. Eye color, education level. So these are the variable, but not using number. So the variables that we study by not using number we call qualitative variables. For example, male, female, Buddhism, Catholic, or maybe Muslim, or maybe Honda, Suzuki, or Yamaha, something like this. When the data being studied are qualitative, we are usually interested in how many or what proportion fall in each category. So when the variable in terms of qualitative, we try to understand all in terms of for example, in this class how many female students, how many male students. That's why this is all talking about all students are female, or all students are male, or maybe how many male, how many female. Or if you don't want to understand how many or number, we can like proportion in terms of percentage. So how many percentage of this class student male or female, something like this. Qualitative data are often summarized in charts and in graphs. Yes, we can see it in chapter 2. The other types of variable, quantitative. Quantitative variables refer to characteristic or variable being studied or reported in numeric value, number. So variable by using number to study. For example, balance in your checking account, number amount of money that still available in your bank account, monthly income, monthly expenditure, number of children in household, quantities of sale today, this week, this month, something like this. Quantitative variables can be classified as either discrete variables, continuous variables. Okay, so discrete variables can only assume certain values, and there are usually gaps between values. For example, number of bedrooms in one house. One house, one bedroom, one house, two bedroom. That's why from one bedroom to two bedroom, one difference. The gap is one different. From 2 to 3, the gap is one different. Okay, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, the gap is one different. So we assume only certain values or certain gaps between one value to next, between one data item to next data item. Whereas continuous variable can assume any values within a specific range. For example, the time it takes the flight from Ping to Singapore. Not exactly 2 hours, but 2 hours and some minutes or some seconds and beyond that one. This is still, we cannot find the ending number. It's continuous. But for discrete, we can find exactly the values of each unit. For example, 1 bedroom, 2 motorbikes, 3 car. Okay, so we cannot find 1.5 bedroom or 1.25 motorbikes. No, there's no discrete value. Only a certain amount or certain number for discrete. But in terms of continuous, yes, you can have any number that we cannot find the ending number. So data divided by 2. So what is data? Data divided by 2, qualitative data, quantitative data. Qualitative data because this data consists of qualitative variables. Quantitative data because this data set consists of quantitative variables. Quantitative variable also split into two types of quantitative variables: discrete quantitative variables, continuous quantitative variables. These are examples for qualitative variables. For example, gender, like I said earlier, male, female, types of motorbike that you own. For example, motorbike, Honda, Yamaha or Suzuki. It's about car, Toyota, Ford, Mazda, something like this. Colors of pen, red, blue or black. So these are examples of qualitative variables. Quantitative variable in terms of discrete: number of students in the class, number of classes in the school, number of cars in the class, or number of cars produced in one factory this day, today. So there's no, in terms of number of students, there's no 22.5 students in the class. No, not in this case happened. However, the other types of quantitative variable: continuous variable, your weight, distance between your house to university, your balance, your amount of money in your account, banking account. So it's always sometimes you cannot find the ending number. Okay, so that's why it's always continuous. It's like, for example, 1 divided by 3. 1 divided by 3 equal to 0.3333. I don't know how many 3. You cannot we cannot get the last 3 of this number, because 3 always continue. We don't know where is the ending. Okay, this is we call continuous variable. But in terms of discrete, 2 cars, 3 bedrooms, 10 students in the class. This is examples of discrete variables. Okay, last point of this chapter: levels of measurement. For measure the data in statistics, we usually use 4 levels of measurement, such as nominal level, ordinal level, interval level, and ratio level. This is from the lower level to the upper level. So which one is lower level? Nominal level is about lower level, or we call lowest. The most primitive or basic or simple measurements is nominal level. The highest level that gives us the most information about the observation is the ratio levels of measurement. Nominal level or scaled data observations of qualitative variable can only be classified or counted into categories, groups, but cannot be arranged in an ordering scheme. Okay, only classify into the group, only classify the data item into group or into categories, but cannot range from bigger to smaller, from short to tall, from new to old. We cannot range from most satisfaction to the less satisfaction. So in terms of nominal, yes, simple, just group data item that we collect into specific group or specific category or specific criteria, something like this. For example, eyes color, gender, religious affiliation. In terms of eye color, for Asian people, only one is a black eye color. But it's international, maybe from European they have blue eye, so we can classify as one. Gender is only 2, male and female. But in terms of religious affiliation, maybe more than 2. Some I guess Buddhism, Christian, or Muslim. Okay, this is table 1.1, the source of world oil supply for 2004. This is the oil supply to the world: OPEC, OECD, former Soviet Union, China, and other. This is the quantities of barrel of oil supply per day. This is percentage. When you look at the amount of barrel oil supply, it seems to be order. Okay, the first highest 132, 22, 11, 3, but this one is not order, because 3 should below the 12. 12 should between 22 and 11, but they not focus on order of this number. They just arrange into the group. Any country under OPEC, okay, just group into OPEC. Any country to supply the oil to the world, a group into OECD, includes in United States, okay, group into OECD. Former Soviet Union, because Soviet Union is a big country, was a big country, but when Soviet Union collapsed, Russian Federation coming, some country became independent. China and the others. This is not order. Order should be 32, 22, 12, 11, and 3. This should be order. But in this table, no order. Okay, just group based on this one. This is a percentage or sharing percentage. Nominal level can be mutually exclusive or exhaustive. Mutually, it's similar to each other. It's exclusive is excludable or excluded, so exclude from each other, but exhaustive altogether. Mutually exclusive It means that one data item or an individual or observation, by virtue of being included into one category, must be excluded from any other categories. That's why if this item include into one group, this item must be excluded from the other groups. That's why only one group in. One item go into one group, one category or one class. Cannot be. Okay, cannot be. For example, gender, in this class there are only two groups, male group and female group. If I select one student and he is male student, he must go to male group. If he go into male group, he must be excluded from female group. Okay, this is we call mutually exclusive. If this student, male student, include into male group, this male student must be excluded from female group. But if in the class, if I select the other student, she is a female, she must go to female group. If she go into female group, she is excluded from male group. Okay, that means in this case one item can classify only one group. When we have more than one group, but only one group into. If this item including into one group, this item must exclude from the other groups. Okay, this is called mutually exclusive. However, exhaustive, it means together. Each individual object or data item must be classified in at least one category. That means one data item based on exhaustive can be going to two categories or more than one categories. For example, major study. Some students take two university. One university, their major may be finance, and the other university they take English literature. Okay, so they can take two majors. For example, religious affiliation. Maybe one person can be Buddhism or Muslim or Catholic. They can take those religious as for them in order to to follow. Okay, this is some explanation about exhaustive is equal to completed and including everything of what we study or doing research. So this is differently. Under mutually exclusive, one item must go into only one group and exclude it from the other groups. But exhaustive may be go into more than one group for one item. Ordinal level, just a little bit higher than nominal level, involves data that may be arranged in some order, but differences between data values cannot be determined or are meaningless. Okay, we can make it order, but the gap between the two data item, no meaning. No meaning. So during the class valuation, each student gets 5 codes for their understanding of introduction to statistics. The first one, superior. Okay, very good. Yes, their value add statistic is very good. Inferior, very bad. Not like. Yes, this is yes, very like. This is not dislike. And this is average, so-so. So 5 good. This is order. Inferior, poor, average, good, and superior. How about this one? The gap between 1 to 1, no meaning. What does it mean, no meaning? You cannot link from 3 to 12. No, there's no meaning from linking from 3 to 12 from 12 to 25, 25 to 28, 28 to 6. There's no meaning between these two values. So the order, just arrange the order here. Okay, so table 2 1.2, rating of introduction to statistics. Interval lies between. Interval level includes all characteristics of ordinal level. This is a little bit higher than ordinal level. But in addition, the difference between values is a constant sign. There's no natural 0 point. So just cover from everything that ordinal say, but just add one other condition. Okay, I just add one other condition, because based on ordinal, the gap between two items no meaning. I said earlier, the gap between 3 to 12, there's no meaning. 12 to 25, there's no meaning. That means no relationship to each other. That's why no meaning. But in terms of interval, the gap between data item to the other data item must be meaningful. And those gap from one item to next, from the other item to next, must be the same number or the same size. However, even though the same size, but there is no zero number. Okay, there's no zero number. Must be a gap between one item to another item. No zero gap. If it is zero gap, it's not interval. See the proportions of interval on page 12. For example, the high temperatures on 5 consecutive days of the last week of July in Phnom Penh. 26, 27, the first day 26, second day 27, the third day 26, the fourth day 25, and the last day 28. These temperatures can be ranked or ordered, but we can determine the difference between these temperatures because 1 degree Celsius because 1 degree Celsius difference represents a constant unit of measurement. Okay, constant unit of measurement. So I can make interval. First I need to rank it. 25, it should be 25, 26, 27, and 28. You may ask, how about the other 26 here? Why we not rank in order? 26 and 26 here is the same. That's why we take only one. Okay, so if make it order, this will be, you can make order from A to Z, or from Z to A, or from smaller to largest, or larger to smaller. So maybe most of the orders or arrangement we start from small to largest. That's why 25, 26, 27, 28. So from 25 Celsius to 26 is 1 Celsius difference. From 26 to 27, 1 Celsius difference. From 27 to 28, also 1 Celsius different. Okay, that's why 1 different from unit to unit. So they are 226, but we group 26 together. Okay, so we group 26 together. This is nominal level. So when you make a rank, this is ordinal. When from unit, after making a rank, when one unit to another unit have the constant gaps, constant size, this is interval. Okay, this is the other example of interval scalar measurements, but this is referred to women dress size. So there are 3 sides that measures for women dress: bust, waist, and hips. Okay, so from side to side, two number difference. For example, side 8, side 10, side 12, 14, 16, something like this. That's why in terms of from side to side, in terms of bust, waist, and hips, also 2 difference as well. Okay, So you can see the same gap. Okay, the same gap, and its order here. Trace size is interval scale as from one side to the other has the same difference, 2 inches. Each side has constant unit of measurement. There's no natural 0 point for this one. Last one, ratio. Ratio has all characteristics of interval level, but in addition, the 0 point is meaningful. 0 point is meaningful for ratio, but 0 point or 0 gap is not meaningful for interval. The ratio between two numbers is meaningful. Practically all quantitative data is recorded on the ratio level of measurement. Properties of ratio is on page 12. You can see properties of ratio on page 12 in the textbook. For example, the ratio scale of measurement including wages, units of production, weight, change in stock prices, distance between branch office to maybe factories, the height, student A height to the student B height. You can make it as ratio. Money is a good illustration. If you have $0, then you have no money. For example, the other one is Jim earns $40,000 per year by selling insurance service. Rob earns $80,000 per year by selling car. Then Rob earns twice as much as Jim. So this is ratio. So how you can twice as much? 2 times, by taking Rob divided by Jim earned. Okay, you can see this example on page 12 and page 13 of the textbook. To summarize, in terms of level of measurement, the ground level nominal data. Just what to do under nominal data, just group data item or just classify data item, every data item into specific categories, specific groups or specific condition. Okay, but no, we cannot make it order. For example, marital status, types of car owned, or maybe the colors of pen, something like this. Higher than nominal level is ordinal level. Ordinal level in this case, after grouping, each group can make it order. Item in each group can make it order from small to largest, from largest to small. Okay, order categories, ranking, order, or scaling. This is example. This is content or properties. Service quality rating. Okay, maybe you go to school, you can rate in terms of this service, in terms of that service, in terms of maybe teachers, the way the teacher teach, or the way that school provides service in terms of librarian service or the other service. Standard and poor bond rating. Students' letter grades. That's why you can say A, B, C, D up to F. Okay. The next level is interval. Interval, you need to have, in order to get interval, you need to pass nominal, you need to pass ordinal, and then you can get interval. In terms of interval, there's no zero value gap between data item to the other data item. If we have zero gap between data item to the other one, this is not interval. Okay, so the difference between measurements but no through zero gap. For example, temperature in Fahrenheit, standardized exam score. Okay, it's we have interval, a gap from one item to another, the same gap, The highest level of measurement ratio. In this case, the different value between item to item could be zero. Zero has meaning in terms of ratio. For example, height 8, weekly food spending. Okay, so maybe after watching or during you watching this, you may come up with questions. Okay, drop your questions. I want to see your questions. The other practice, survey you 1.2 on page 13. Okay, maybe we're going to go to page 13. You can see. Page 13. Yes, this is page 13. This one. What is the level of measurement reflected by following data? A. Age of each person in a sample of 50 adults who listen to the one of the 1,230 talk radio stations in the United States is here. Is a survey of 200 luxury car owners. In the survey of 200 luxury car owners, 1 were from California, 50 were from New York, 30 from Illinois, and the other 20 from Ohio. Okay, so A, B. What is level of measurement? This is your time to work with this one. And I expect that you can find the right answer. But warning you, don't look at the answer from textbook. Try your best to find the answer and then compare your answers with the textbook answer. If they are correct, okay, you are good. But if they are wrong, you need to make it a review again in order to find the correct answers. Okay, last slide. You can see summarize chapter on page 16 textbook. You have homework right now. Homework is on page 16 to 18. Your homework is only even number. But not include number 12 and number 14. Okay, number 12, not number 14. So your homework is even number from page 16 to page 18, but not exercise number 12 and number 14. So based on this book, you can see this is 14. This is 14, but 16. Go to 16. Yes, this is 16. Number 6, number 8, 10, but not 12, not 14, not 12, not 14, 16 is 16, 18. Okay, all. So your homework is including number 6, 8, 10, 16, 18. Okay, so this is for your work. Okay, the second chapter, second part movie is cover the rest of the chapter 1. So it should be finished, should be finished chapter 1 or ended chapter 1. Okay, and so this is time for you to work. I will drop this on YouTube, and when you watch, the one who already subscribed, you don't need to subscribe, you just comment, just click like. But the one who have not yet subscribed, click subscribe, like and comment. Okay, so do these things: subscribe, like and comment, in order to alert me you are watched, you are subscribed, you are already click like. Okay, so it's time for you to work.